Can a handful of people truly own half the world's wealth? Is it fair? This is a question that has been at the forefront of global conversations for years. It's a question that incites debate, stirs emotions, and challenges our understanding of justice and fairness. As we delve into the topic of wealth disparity, we find ourselves in a world where the scales of wealth are heavily tipped in favor of the few. A world where a small fraction of the population holds the majority of the global wealth. Is this the natural order of things? Or is it a system that has been carefully crafted over time, favoring certain individuals while leaving others in poverty? These are the questions that we will be exploring throughout this discussion. To get a deeper understanding, we've sourced insights from experts who have studied wealth disparity extensively. Join us as we embark on this journey of discovery and understanding. We begin with Dr. Jane Simmons, a renowned economist and author. Dr. Simmons has spent a considerable portion of her career exploring the intricacies of wealth disparity. Her recent book, The Divided Dollar, dives deep into the causes and implications of the growing chasm between the rich and the poor. She posits that wealth disparity is not a simple issue of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. Dr. Simmons suggests that the roots of wealth disparity can be traced back to a complex network of factors. She highlights the role of systemic issues such as unequal access to quality education, lack of affordable healthcare, and wage stagnation. She asserts that these factors create a cycle of poverty that is challenging to break out of. Simmons also points to the role of policy decisions in perpetuating wealth inequality. She argues that policies that favor the wealthy, such as tax breaks and loopholes, exacerbate the divide. She states, "When the rules of the game favor one group over another, it's no surprise that the gap continues to widen." In terms of the implications of this disparity, Dr. Simmons paints a rather sobering picture. She warns that extreme wealth disparity can lead to social instability, decreased economic mobility, and even a decline in the overall health of a society. She believes that it's not just about the money, it's about opportunity, dignity, and the ability to live a fulfilling life. Dr. Simmons's perspective is a stark reminder of the complexities of wealth disparity. It's not just a matter of individual effort or ambition, it's about systemic issues, policy decisions, and the very structure of our society. She leaves us with a thought-provoking question. If we continue on this path, what kind of society are we building for future generations? Intriguing insights from Dr. Simmons. Now let's hear from our next expert. Meet Mr. Samuel Knight, a social activist fighting for economic justice. Samuel Knight is a name that has become synonymous with unwavering advocacy for economic parity. His journey has taken him from the humble beginnings of a working-class neighborhood to the forefront of social activism. Samuel's story is not just about his personal journey, but also sheds light on the stark contrast between the haves and the have-nots of our society. Knight's perspective on wealth inequality is one that has been shaped by his own experiences. Growing up, he saw firsthand the struggles of his community, where working 2 jobs was the norm, and financial security was a distant dream. Yet, just a few miles away, the rich lived in opulence, seemingly oblivious to the plight of those less fortunate. He recalls, "The disparity was glaring. It was as if we were living in 2 different worlds, one where money wasn't a concern, and the other, where every penny counted." His experiences have fueled his fight for economic justice, with the belief that everyone deserves a fair shot at prosperity. Knight argues that wealth inequality is not just about the accumulation of riches by a few. It's about the opportunity gap that widens with every passing generation. It's about the children who are denied quality education because their parents can't afford it. It's about the families who live paycheck to paycheck, unable to break the cycle of poverty. In Knight's words, wealth is not just about money, it's about options, opportunities, and freedom. There are millions out there who are denied these basic rights because of their economic status. His views are a sobering reminder of the reality many face. The narrative of wealth inequality isn't just about numbers or statistics, it's about real people, their struggles, and their dreams. Mr. Knight's views certainly offer a different perspective, but what about potential solutions? Our third expert, Miss Lily Harper, a policy analyst, shares her thoughts on potential solutions. Ms. Harper suggests that one way to bridge the wealth gap is through policy changes, particularly in the area of tax reforms. She argues that progressive taxation, where the wealthy are taxed a higher percentage of their income, could be a potential solution. This would mean that those who have more contribute more, thereby redistributing wealth and reducing inequality. But Ms. Harper notes that such a solution is not without its challenges. For one, there's the issue of implementation. It's not just about passing laws, but also about ensuring they are enforced effectively. The wealthy, after all, have resources at their disposal to find loopholes or to lobby against such changes. Ms. Harper also raises the issue of perception. Wealth is often seen as a reward for hard work and innovation. So, taxing the wealthy more heavily could be perceived as punishing success. This could create resistance, not just from the wealthy, but also from those who aspire to be wealthy. Another solution proposed by Ms. Harper is investing in education. She argues that providing everyone, regardless of their socioeconomic status, with quality education can level the playing field. It can provide everyone with the opportunity to improve their economic situation. But again, this solution is not without its challenges. Quality education requires funding. And where would this funding come from? Ms. Harper suggests that it could come from the aforementioned progressive taxation. But once again, we circle back to the challenges associated with tax reforms. Ms. Harper also emphasizes the importance of financial literacy. She believes that teaching people how to manage their money, how to save, and how to invest could go a long way in reducing wealth disparity. But of course, the challenge here is ensuring that such education reaches everyone, particularly those in low-income communities. Ms. Harper's solutions provide food for thought. But what can you as an individual do about wealth disparity? Taking action may seem daunting, but every effort counts. Here's financial educator Mr. Thomas Reed. We dive into an engaging exchange with Mr. Reed, who passionately advocates for individual action to shrink the wealth gap. He stresses the importance of financial literacy, emphasizing that understanding money isn't just for the wealthy, it's for everyone. Reed's words echo in our ears. Financial literacy is not a luxury, it's a necessity. He further explains how financial literacy can empower individuals, helping them to make informed decisions about their money. It's about understanding the distinction between needs and wants, knowing how to budget, save, and invest. But more than that, it's about understanding the systems in place that dictate how money works in our world. Mr. Reed also highlights the role of advocacy. He encourages us to use our voices to affect change. He insists, we must speak up, ask the hard questions, demand accountability from our financial institutions, our governments, and our communities. He underscores the power of collective action, reminding us that when we stand together, our voices can reverberate through the halls of power, shaking up the status quo. Every voice matters, he says, and every voice can make a difference. Mr. Reed ends on a note of optimism, painting a picture of a world where wealth is more equitably distributed. But he reminds us that this vision is not a given. It requires effort, commitment, and most importantly, action from each of us. He tells us, we are not powerless. We can shape our financial futures, and in doing so, we can help shape the financial future of our world. And so we're left with a challenge: to educate ourselves, to advocate for change, and to take action however small it may seem. As Reed puts it, every step forward is a step towards a more equitable world. As Mr. Reed suggests, change starts with us. We've heard from the experts, now the ball's in your court. We've taken a deep dive into the stark reality of wealth disparity, acknowledging its existence and the impact it has on our society. We've also explored different perspectives, understanding that this is a multifaceted issue with no one-size-fits-all solution. We've discussed potential solutions and the challenges that come with them, recognizing that change is a process, often a slow one, and it requires collective effort and commitment. Most importantly, we've highlighted the crucial role each individual plays. Yes, you too have an important part in this narrative. Your actions, your choices, your voice can make a difference. So, what's next? It's time to join the conversation, to share your thoughts and ideas. Let's continue this dialogue outside of this video. As we navigate through this complex issue, remember, every voice matters. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and together, we can make a difference.